This is Rock Bottom with Ryan. No sugarcoating, no filters. The pain, the chaos, the truth. No bullshit. Just recovery.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Rock Bottom with Ryan, where we keep it real. No bullshit, just recovery. I'm your host, Ryan, and today I'm excited because we have a powerful conversation lined up. I'm sitting down with Frank, who's been through the darkness of addiction and found their way into recovery. They've got a story that's real, raw, and inspiring, and I can't wait for you to hear it. Frank, thanks for being here. How are you feeling about sharing your story today?
Yeah, my name is Frank, and I'm alcoholic. I was a dry drunk for 26 years. My wife was in some programs, and they helped out big time, and they really saved our family, but I'm here to tell my story.
Thanks, Frank. So, here to ask you a few questions. Wanted to know when you started drinking. Was it as a teenager or did you start it as an adult? What were your phases of drinking and when did you get started?
As a teenager, my family drank. I can remember we were Polish, and it was a big tradition. Everybody drinks, not the kids. My uncle used to say, "Hey, Neff, can you sneak me a Yukon Jack so your mom don't see?" I can remember stuff like that. I went in the Marines. I really didn't drink in the Marines. My job in the Marines was to keep everybody sober so we can conduct ourselves so we don't get killed. That was a tough job. Alcohol and drugs are big in the Marines, big time, to escape reality. Anyway, I didn't drink. I got out, and my wife was in these programs, and I was a dry drunk, but I knew to keep our family going, I needed not to drink, and I did not. Then my wife passed away, I'd say when she was 66 years old, and the first thing I thought of, what do I do, go to the bar or gym? Not good. Never thought of the word bar in 26 years. So anyway, I picked a gym. I became a gym rat and did the senior games and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden, I went the wrong way.
Okay. So, Frank, I've been curious. You said you were in the military. Did anything that you experienced in the military ever play a role in your drinking as far as stress, drinking while you were serving in the military or trauma after? Did that ever have an impact on you?
I get paid 85% from the military for PSTD, for experiences and stress, but I do not believe that created my drinking problem.
Okay.
My VA lady disagrees, but I talked to people in different groups, and they said that alcoholism is pretty much hereditary, because I was trying to get to the basis of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how I got it or what it is. I know I have to battle it. It's a daily occurrence. And someday I think I can slip right through it. And the other days I think I can't.
So is it very hard for you these days to not get the temptation, the urges, or have you had any moments where you felt like you had weakness as far as maintaining your recovery?
Yes, I do. But then I think of the people I know. I can name 20 of them. And I think of them and what they've been through and listen to stuff like that. And I says, you can do this. I talk to my higher power all the time. And it's just an ongoing battle and I got to do it. And when you slip big time, I do know that because I've slipped already.
Yeah. So you have relapsed. What did you learn from the relapse?
Shocking thing is what I heard from different people is you go back exactly to the degree you were when you quit. Totally gone. I was totally gone on just a little bit. Flying along like I was there, sitting there for a day.
Yep, I learned that too. When I was sober when I was sober for 3 months, I thought I had it all figured out, and I said that if I just have one drink, I'm never going to get back to where I was, so it's okay to have a drink. I ended up in the hospital 2.5 weeks later. It's just
it's amazing. You hear that story from people that you're going to go right back to where you were, and that is no way. And instantly, you were right at that degree. Instantly.
Yeah.
And you don't even have a choice.
It just takes over. It's kind of sign from the higher power.
Yep. I take great pride in driving by liquor stores. When I do that, I know I win.
How did recovery impact your relationships with family and friends?
Great with my girlfriend. Her mom was an alcoholic, and she knew about it. And actually, when I was trying to stop drinking, she got books and stuff, was reading about it, stuff like different programs, and trying to help. So she has been on board the whole time, and that is such a plus. And both my sons, and one's in the medical field, and they expect my honesty more than anything because they knew their mom was an alcoholic. And they know it's a disease. They don't care who you are, how big or strong or tough or money you got or what you did in the past. It's a tough disease.
Yeah, it is. Can you describe, let's say, at your early stages of drinking, what it was like? Were you going out to bars and socializing, or what was it like when you drank? Were you more of a reclusive drinker?
Yes.
Were you more of a social drinker? How did it start?
I started as a social drinker, and I thought that was okay. And I knew instantly that this was not for me because my wife was an alcoholic. I went to my doctor and I said, look, I have an issue. I'm an alcoholic. He says, we use you as a physical example. You do the senior games, you do track and field, you're physically fit. Everybody wants to know what you eat and do. I says, I'm an alcoholic and I want to go somewhere. So they gave me two options, one where my hometown was and one not. And I took the one where my hometown was not, quite obvious.
So you mentioned you were in the Senior Olympics. Did you ever drink around those times?
You're drinking water during the break. I was drinking vodka.
So you're actually
So you know you're losing. And I kept thinking, I justified it by I'm winning. I'm always qualifying. That's horrible.
I used to bring Gatorades to the gym, and I'd be drinking. People would think I was hydrated. I had people ask me to take a sip of my Gatorade to hydrate.
I don't drink over a fifth of alcohol going home from the Olympic to senior games. You don't do that. And you don't drink at them. And then you say, I got third place, so I can justify it. It doesn't hurt. It's just bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just part of the addiction.
Yep.
It's a funny story, but it's embarrassing.
So you were in the Senior Olympics. You were really active and still able to function in life really well. Was there ever a point where you hit a point where you just couldn't do anything anymore and it just kind of consumed you?
No, more lately, after the last event, more lately, I've lost a lot of interest in.
When you say the last event, do you remember what was going through your head when you decided, hey, I'm going to pick up a bottle?
Nope. And I have a home group I Zoom once a week with forever for 7 years, every Sunday, no matter where I'm at or they're at, we Zoom. And I told them, I said, I just don't know what made me do this, but I just did it. You can't lie. Once you lie, you're only lying to yourself.
Yeah.
You'll never win if you do that.
And did you tell yourself immediately that would be it? Or did you think, hey, I'm going to go get another bottle after this? Or how was your mind working?
Either way.
Yeah.
Because I was enjoying it. I will not lie.
Yeah.
And I told them that, and I got different inputs. And I said, look, I don't need a lecture. I know all the ins and outs of what you're going to say. I screwed up, and I know what I got to do. And I was reaching out for help, and I got it.
How do your kids play a role in, like, you being alcoholic? Are they really supportive of it?
Yeah.
Do they have your back on it?
Yep. My one son said a couple of years ago when I told him I was an alcoholic, he says, well, when's the last time you drank? I said, I'm drinking now. He says, throw it in the trash. I said, I did. He says, you're lying. He said, I'm going to come down and kick your ass, and I live in New York City.
Yeah,
what
that's
he
love
said.
right there. Good tough love. Let's see, what's dating been like, being in a relationship like sober, since it sounds like you're in a relationship? Do you think that relationship is as good as it is because you're sober now?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And even as with my disease, I would just say, care for each other, and knowing an issue, we still wanted each other and we wanted to work through it. So I was very fortunate, very fortunate. Yep.
Is she a drinker herself, or how does she support your recovery?
Oh, she supports my recovery big time. She's so proud of me going to do stuff all the time, non-alcohol related stuff. And she's just proud of it. How's your day? What are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. And she's legitimately excited about my sobriety. And that just pushes me even to another limit.
And does she drink occasionally, or she never had an issue with alcohol?
She's never had an issue. She could be an occasional drinker, though. My issue was, you brought it up, I didn't say I was a private drinker. The worst kind. I didn't need to go to bars. I didn't even like to go to bars. My kids lived out of town. My wife passed away. My dad passed away. My sister passed away. Everybody I knew passed away. I had nobody to answer to. So I believed I was not hurting anybody. And then from people I talked to, you start drinking at 8 at night. Then you start drinking at 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Then it's 6 in the morning. Then it's like you go up to the bathroom at 4 in the morning and you think, what should I do as I walk by the bathroom? Should I go have a drink? It's horrible. It's a disease.
Yeah, that was my next question. Was
A disease.
since I always experience really bad withdrawal symptoms, which is why I started drinking earlier and earlier throughout the day, depending on what stage of the bender I'm in, because it gets to the point where I can wait till the afternoon or I can wait till the evening, but then it gets to the point where I can't even put my contacts in without shaking because of that. Did you experience that kind of stuff and that's why you drank, or were you drinking just because you were bored and just felt like having a drink early?
I think bored and having a drink early. I'm retired. I don't have to answer to nobody. I get money coming from the VA and Social Security and everything. I don't have to do anything but drink.
So how do you
Horrible.
do you feel like now that you are sober, a bit sober a while, for the most part of the last few years or so, how do you stay busy nowadays?
I go to the gym, I do yoga, I go to meditation classes and stuff, and try to associate with people that are like that.
Do you think yoga helps with your recovery as
Oh,
far
yeah.
as like the mindset and everything?
Oh yeah, being with, even if I don't hang with people that are like-minded, that I'm not friends with them, just to see that they are doing this is a motivation for me.
Yep.
Because you go to some of these places and you'll see people, when they talk, you're so excited, and then you hear other people and they talk and you're not excited.
Yeah.
But just to run into these kind of people is just great.
Yeah. When I've gone to yoga a few times, I've walked out feeling like a new man. So
Oh my God.
I know it's therapeutic and it's like a drug in itself. So what do you miss the most, if anything, about drinking?
I don't know
Tough
if it-
question, I
I
know.
don't know if it puts me in a mindset or saying, I don't know. It must be a fake relaxation, a fake sense of security. I don't need no security. I shouldn't be doing this, but I am, and it makes me feel good. That's a tough question. I have to think about.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
Come back to it. What was the hardest part about quitting? Like physically, was it mentally or emotionally? What was the toughest part?
I think emotionally I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I can say, hey, you're in your own world. Here you go. They sent me to an outpatient place, and I failed
Okay.
because they told me to go somewhere else, and I didn't. And,
So rehabilitation didn't work the first time, or it ended up
well, I
working?
didn't follow through all the way with it.
Okay.
They told me to continue it and I didn't buy into that,
Yeah.
and I failed.
Okay. Yeah. So going to meetings and stuff.
Yeah, they told me to do that, and I didn't. But I passed every test at the rehab. I enjoyed learning about myself. I said, man, damn, I loved everything there. Loved it all. But I didn't buy into the other thing they suggested. And
I totally get it. I went to treatment after my last stint in the hospital, after my relapse, after being sober for 3 months. I ended up drinking nonstop for 2 months and then ended up in the hospital. Went to rehab for 45 days and they told me to stick to the program. And I've done it ever since and it's been working, but I didn't do that the first time around.
yeah, they tell you all this stuff for a reason, but everybody's different and unique.
Are there any like habits or mindsets that you had to unlearn to stay clean?
I just think how to mentally, because live by myself and I have nobody to answer to but me and a little dog. And I have to say, don't think like that. No guidance. I don't live with my girlfriend who's supportive. When I'm with her, I have zero desire to drink. When we go to Mexico, we go for Mexico at least, 4, 5, 6 months a year. We go to Mexico and I'm around drinkers. That doesn't even bother me. It encourages me not to drink.
Why is that?
I have no idea because I see these fools or whatever when I call them. And when you tell them you're in the pool and you're at the adult bar and you order something with no alcohol, they'll look at you like you're nuts or say the word sobriety.
Yeah.
And I take pride in that.
Yeah, it is.
I really do. But when I'm by myself, why can't I feel like that?
Yeah, you do feel
And once
10 times more proud when you're seeing all these people being complete shit
Yeah.
shows around you.
And when you meet a lot of these people, we met a lot of people in Mexico, and once they say, "What are you having?" It's happy hour. We'll just say, "I'm having this with no alcohol." Oh, some give you a dirty look, others accept you and want to know more about it.
Yeah.
Because they really got the issue.
And if they want to know more about it, what's the first thing you talk about?
Huh?
If they want to know more about it, what do you tell them?
Why quit?
Are they interested because they
Yes.
themselves?
Yep, that'd be my guess. They don't admit it.
It's not an opportunity.
But
to,
when they're slurring their words and almost drowning in the pool, that's a good suggestion.
yeah,
Then you know.
yeah, it's probably not the best time to give them advice.
But being around people that drink does not bother me. When I first quit, my one son we met, we went somewhere and he said, "Dad, we're going to this restaurant. I'm trying to get us a seat where they're not drinking and there's no alcohol area." I says, "No, you go where you got to go. It's my life.
Yeah,
I'm not changing everybody's life because of me."
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I told him that. But he said, "No, when they're trying to get a seat in the back," where I said, "No, you just get a seat anywhere you want."
So I'm curious, did you know how many times, say, drinking landed you in the hospital or
Never.
jail or anything like that? Or
Just DUI. Two DUIs. Yep,
yeah,
that was the only
same
time.
here.
Never. I think because I was a private drinker. I never went to bars when I started to drink. I drank at home. So if I got in trouble, it was driving from the state store where I got in trouble because I wasn't coming from no bars.
All right. So most of your people you spend time with now, are they all, most of them sober, or do you still able to maintain your friends that you had back in the drinking days? Or
Like I said, I really never drank at bars, and my friends, I don't live where my friends lived. I'm new in this area where I live now, and I really don't have a lot of friends, and I wouldn't hang with the ones that drank. That wouldn't bother me from being a friend, but I would let them, and they would know me instantly and say, "Frank's not going with us." That's what they would say. But going to a bar does not bother me. It's being alone at home.
yeah, that was me usually.
Oh.
Would start off with me socializing, being at bars on a regular basis. But once I hit the depression phase, I would just stay home. I wouldn't even answer phone calls. It's one of those reclusive drinkers. And that's the worst too, when you just don't want to see anybody.
I was very fortunate. I coached all the sports till my kids graduated in high school. They led a normal life because of my wife being sober, even though I was a dry drunk. And I am so lucky because of that, because these kids come in today and they got 3 or 4 kids and they're growing up in alcoholism. They're 8, 9, 10 years old, 4 or 5 years old. And I was so fortunate that I didn't have to go through that.
How long were you and your wife married, and how long?
I got married when I was 21 and she died when I was 66.
How long was she going through her alcoholism before she
30
got
years,
recovery?
I think.
30 years. So she was in recovery for quite a few years before she passed.
Yes, yep.
And she passed away sober and
Yep.
doing.
And my kids hated that lifestyle because she was always doing something with being sober, and they thought they should have been spending more time with her.
She had to. They say we can be selfish in our recoveries. It's important because there's probably.
But now they realize it because their dad is an alcoholic.
So you weren't drinking at all. You were a dry
Nope.
drunk while she was sober.
Yep.
And then
We had people over our house for graduations and football parties and stuff from the high school.
and then
We had
after,
alcohol there for them to drink. We just did not drink.
so was it after she passed away where
That
you
was
started?
it.
Was it pretty instant? Was that kind of like a breaking
No.
point for you?
No, the first thing I thought was, where are you going to the bar or the gym? And I thought, why would you even mention the word bar after 20-some years? So that scared me. So I picked the gym, and then 6 years later, I picked the other one.
So you did go 6 more years.
I would say something like that. That's
Okay.
maybe not exact.
And do you remember what you were thinking that day? Was it kind of something trigger you, or is just
No, I was a social drinker. I was just having a drink like anybody else. But once I got to drink alone, and not with my girlfriend as a social drinker in Mexico, having one cocktail a day, it's when I got alone and said, I really like this. That was my downfall.
and then it just progressed from there. And
Big time.
so
It's like you hear these stories. You get up and you think, what do I got to do to make sure I have more at the end of the day? I heard that from you.
Yep.
What I got to put it in my glove compartment? Should I hide it under the seat? Do I got to run this home quick? I mean, it's horrible. And to be a closet drinker's door.
Yeah,
I
no,
really believe
that
it.
is-
And I tell people,
that was my thing. It got to the point the last relapse where I had to either I was shaking too hard to go to the store, and so I would end up ordering delivery alcohol, which is a complete crime that it's even legal. So I'm getting
Sure.
alcohol delivered to my doorstep, so I don't have to leave the house at all, and I'm keeping it under my bed and pulling it out from
Yeah.
under my bed and chugging it.
Yeah. I know an alcoholic. My one VA friend, I won't repeat her name. It's a lady. And no, she's not ashamed of it. It's my VA lady. She's an alcoholic. And she says, "Oh, I got my boost coming. I got to answer the door." I've never heard of nothing like that. You can have it delivered to. Is this true?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Who delivers it? State stores?
Yeah. See, even some of the grocery stores.
I can't believe she told me that. She said, "I'm not doing," because I told her, I said, "I'm struggling with alcohol." And she said, "Oh, you want to start struggling with alcohol? I've got a bottle coming over right now." And I said, "You what? Never heard of that." And then they wonder why it's a disease.
Yeah, no, it's definitely.
They're not helping us.
Yeah, no, they're not. It's our completely different mindset. How many times would you say you tried to quit before, and then what made this time different?
Real in my life signs, worried about liver. I'm 78 years old, so I started checking out, well, why do you feel like this? Why don't you have motivation like you usually do? How come you stand up and you wobble sometimes? Different things that you can start. You don't want to get healed online because that's a joke. But I look up stuff. Why do I feel like this? Dehydrate. AFib. I just got out of the thing for AFib.
What happened there?
That's when I drank that time. And then, but the AFib was lack of hydrant. And then, like I said, I went in and I said, "Look, I got AFib, but can you check me out? I'm an alcoholic." And they kept me for 4 days, and it was the best thing they ever did.
Did they say that since you hadn't been drinking for a while, did they say your body was in pretty good shape, or did they say
Yes, they said for my age and everything, and I take no meds. I'm blessed.
no meds and
None.
no supplements or anything, or
Nope.
So-
I take tons of supplements.
supplements? Yeah, same here.
So
So
bankrupt buying my supplements.
supplements and exercise and yoga, some of the healthy things that you do.
Yep. But that 4 days, and I told you that, and they kept me there. I don't know if it was by mistake or nothing. I said, my girlfriend come in to see me and everything. I feel like a king. 4 days.
4 days. Yeah. See, when you came out of
It's
those
not-
4 days,
I just felt like I was like blessed.
did it thought cross your mind at all to go back to the bottle, or were you just
Nope.
taking it as a sign that, hey, I had my
I said, "This is how you're supposed to feel. Stay like this, and you can do it."
Was there anything you were afraid of when you first got sober? One of the things I worried about when I got sober was, are people going to like me? Am I going to be enjoyable to be around? Or am I going to be able to do things that I would only do when I was drinking? Am I going to do that sober? Was there anything that kind of intimidated you about being sober?
No, nope, not at all. Nope, because I didn't have a lot of friends because I moved from Orofino to here.
Yeah.
And I only drank by myself, so nobody even really knows.
So that really didn't make a difference.
The disappointing part, and I'll tell you, it was when they tell you to talk about people that tell them you have an issue, let them know you're sorry about it if you offended them. They all took it the wrong way, that I was weak and an alcoholic and I could beat this and I did this and this. You're tougher than that. And they did not, and I wasn't looking for a pity party. I just wanted them to know it's a disease and they don't care who you are.
Yep. And
Tough,
yeah, a lot of people are
Black,
judgmental.
white, big, strong, rich, poor.
Yep.
It don't matter.
People that don't understand it.
Oh,
usually
they
are
did, and
judgmental.
that disappointed me. They actually almost boycotted me from the town when they found out I got a DUI.
And,
And
half
I
of
was
them are-
just crushed. And I wasn't looking for a pity party.
Yeah.
When I coached there, I built buildings for free, the community center, the baseball field they did for free, and all this stuff. And all they remembered was I was an alcoholic.
because you got to do.
Just-
When
yeah.
a lot of them probably drink, they just didn't get caught.
Or one of the first things I'll say, I still do work up there. And I said, I had a DUI. Oh, yeah, we heard. Oh, yeah, we heard. Did
Yeah.
you hear I did any good in my life?
Yeah, no,
like TV news. It's
No
all
credit
bad
for all
news.
that stuff. Yeah,
It's
no-
all
no
bad.
credit for building buildings and everything.
Yeah.
But they'll remember the DUI.
That's all they cared about.
Did you ever feel like there were any drawbacks to being sober? Any like negative results from being sober, or is it all just positive?
All just positive.
All positive. Yeah, feel the same way.
All just positive.
What's one emotion that you still don't know how to deal with sober? Was there ever one that you just tried to use alcohol to block out?
No, I always had a good attitude about life. Nobody's going to ruin my day. Only I can. I tried to teach my kids that. I control my day. Everything is in the mind. I always believed in that. And I always think I get up real early in the morning. I see a lot of negativity going on in town. And I try to be full of gratitude that I can breathe. And take it one day at a time.
Is there anything about when you're in the midst of your drinking that still haunts you to this day that you look back and you're like, you still can't?
That I couldn't quit.
You couldn't quit. Yeah.
I'd say, okay.
Same here.
It's Frank. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. You don't need that.
Yep.
Okay, and I keep Frank.
Yeah, I would wake up crying sometimes.
Aren't you listening, Frank?
Yeah.
That was disgusting.
Yeah. There was a time on my last relapse where I was convinced that I wasn't going to end up in the hospital. So on the last day, I decided to get up at 4 a.m. to go for a run. And I couldn't even put one foot in front of the other.
Yep.
And I just broke down and started crying in the middle of the street at 4 a.m. And I called up, made a phone call and went to the hospital.
My last one, I was drinking Tennessee whiskey at 4 o'clock. So I said, that's not right. You're sick. So I went to Fireball.
Fireball, yeah.
That was my escape as an alcoholic.
All that sugar too.
Alcohol's too. You shouldn't be drinking real whiskey at 4 o'clock. Why don't you have a Fireball sweeter? That's just sick.
Did you ever try?
That's your alcoholic mind.
Did you ever try to pull the idea that some people do, where they think cutting down on alcohol is switching to like beer or wine or something?
No, I looked that up a while. I looked it up. I was researching stuff about alcohol. Why do I feel like this? Is it from drinking? What's occurring this? My appetite's going. What's just? I always try to look, and it's usually something to do with hydration or alcohol. And then they say, some programs say, why don't you switch from alcohol to beer or wine? Yeah. I found out from research, the biggest alcoholic are people that drink wine and beer. Because it's acceptable.
Yeah.
You can get away with it in public drinking with 50 friends.
People
versus I'm sitting there drinking 20 tequilas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're sitting there
it fits.
Yeah.
Yet exactly. More people, alcoholics, are wine and beer drinkers.
Yeah. It's much more socially acceptable.
And once you think about it, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
I was shocked to hear that.
Yeah. And it takes a lot more for people to drink. They could drink all day and still maintain a little bit, but the hard alcohol seems to.
Yeah, because one thing is that try to wind down. Don't just detox yourself. That's why they have treatment centers and detoxes. But don't just quit cold turkey. And it said, should you go to wine or beer? And they said, it's suggested you can, but that's really not the answer.
Yeah, quitting cold turkey is dangerous. Did you ever try it?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Did you ever try to taper off on your own?
Yep. I went, Fireballs was easy because I buy a pack of 10.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, only have 10 today. That's a point. Okay, let's go down to 9 next day. Then 8. And I'm doing good. Fuck, I'm down to 1. I'm done, man. I fucking made it.
And then would the cycle start over?
Then it was 0.
Yeah.
I'm fucking doing good and better go buy a pack of Fire.
And then 1 to 2.
The addiction, yep.
Yeah, it's a constant cycle.
I listen to so many things to do it on my own without help.
Yeah.
But I think what you said is so many people that got into treatment programs, that's where you got to be. You get the detox where you're not going to go bad. It's going to help you. And then you get the treatment. And then you can decide what programs you want to continue with life.
Yeah. Talking inpatient, outpatient.
I think an inpatient.
Inpatient.
I've been asking a lot of people about that. And boy, they were all impressed with it.
Do you think it's because you're confined to a place with a bunch of other people in the same position?
And that's all you're learning. You're learning why you're like that. I've never been to one. You're learning why you're like that. So that's a big plus because you go to these other things and, well, here you are and you listen to certain people that don't really make some sense. But no, anybody I talked to said it was the best thing for them.
Yeah, when I was in treatment, I was completely reluctant to go there. And then after about 10 days of anxiety and plotting how to get home, after about 10 days, I started to realize this is forcing me to be honest with myself for the first time ever. Once I finally started opening up to a group of complete strangers, these strangers became like my best friends after a few weeks of just dealing with it sober with them.
Just to be in a healthy environment where you don't get it.
Yeah.
You can't have it.
Yeah, and they force you to eat meals at the right
Just like them 4 days at that
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, you finally
I
get.
felt like I hit the damn lottery.
Yeah, the
And
nutrition.
not that I had cravings. Like, I said,
Oh, yeah.
man, I feel great. I'm eating right. Everybody's taking care of me. What's going on there? I'm sleeping good. I'm saying, holy shit, please don't send me home.
Yeah, there was a point in treatment where I didn't even want to leave because I
Yep,
was enjoying
amazing.
the sleep, the activities. So the treatment changed my life too. So
My wife went to treatment in Pennsylvania. She said to me, "You can." When I went to pick her up, they said, "We heard you have a drinking problem. That you should bring your suitcase." And they said, "When's the last time you drank?" I said, "This is a 4-court ride for me."
4-court ride.
Yep. And they
That
said,
means
"We
you had
suggest you stay." And I said, "I'm not drinking because of her." And I didn't for 26 years.
That's impressive.
I said, "I drink because what she went through, I will not drink." And I didn't for 26 years. And then
Well, there.
she was in the rehab with, she said the pilots, they would wear the wrong clothes because they didn't know where they were flying to. Brain surgeons said they didn't operate until they were fucked up as the patient.
So there were all these different kinds. Of
Yes,
people.
it wasn't like a,
It wasn't like
if you go in the street.
No, anybody could be an alcoholic.
And movie stars, she said their names and I won't repeat them.
Oh yeah,
But
anybody.
the doctors and everything, she said the guys say, I knew I was ready to operate when I was as fucked up as they were.
Yeah, it's crazy that a lot of these people can be living in the streets or successful
Yeah.
doctors, and this disease will consume them.
It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
I agree. That's a frightening part about it. It's a scary disease.
And I like when other alcoholics talk to you sometimes, if you get a chance to talk to them, they always say, you're really talking about me when I hear you talk.
Yeah.
Because that's me. And it's so true.
Yeah.
Because you can relate to it somehow.
Yeah, when
Like,
I hear other
whoa, they're
alcohol-
talking about me. Holy shit.
Exactly. Very relatable.
It's a bad disease. I think the hardest thing, and nothing to do with talking on here, is to accept it yourself.
Yeah.
I can't quit this.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Well, you're trying. You put 10 fireballs and drank fucking 9, and then next year you're going down to 8. That's not doing it, dude. My parents drank, and when me and went to the States started, when I just started to drink, like occasionally, everything my parents drank was at the last fucking shelf, almost on the floor. It was so fucking cheap. Yukon Jack, fucking Gallo wine, shit nobody drinks. Everything my uncles drank was at the fucking floor. Me and her losing.
So do you think your drinking was a lot of it hereditary, a lot of it just
Yep,
learned
I
behavior?
researched it. That is true. Actually, and my VA lady wants to blame everything on the war. That's an easy way out.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I disagree with that totally. Why didn't I drink the day I got home? Why did that? I really drank when I was 7 years old. Come on.
I know.
That's a long time ago.
Time to start drinking.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why your
I
story is
can't
fascinating.
relate this to the war.
Yeah, and
But she said hereditary, and I started thinking about that. My dad, and I know his grandpa, I wasn't real close with his dad and grandpa, I wasn't real close with. They just spoke Ukrainian, and you couldn't understand them. But wherever I had to go see him, they were at the Ukrainian club.
drink.
A bar just for Ukrainians.
Wow.
Yep.
So the question I want to ask every episode is, what was your personal rock bottom, the moment that everything changed in your life?
I felt it was starting to affect me mentally, my production mentally. It was like my one brain cell I only have slipped. I didn't think I was thinking properly all the time.
Yeah.
I almost thought that it disappeared. And I was checking my health out, and I said, this ain't good. Why do you stand up and get wobbly? Why can't you just fucking stand up and walk? And I started researching all this stuff, then not to get a cure. And all of it was either alcohol or dehydration was always involved in it. And then, then I went for my liver test. Your liver is okay, but it's not right.
Yeah.
It wasn't, you're going to die. And the other one was your kidneys mean more hydration. You're okay, but you got to stay hydrated. They're dry. And I know that. And I try to drink 5 waters a day. I always have, and I fail.
Just staying hydrated, taking supplements, yoga, exercise.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
are all things that are doing wonders for you now.
But as you lose your desire to do stuff, you say, hey, something's wrong, and only you can fix it, and only you can notice it. Especially when you're the only one in your life.
Yeah.
You're not ruining anybody else's life, because my girlfriend spends half her life with her kids. in California,
Yeah.
and then with me in Mexico and here.
Oh.
So I don't see her like every day, but when I am with her, I am the ultimate fucking health nut.
Yeah.
I ain't
So
shit.
she has a good positive impact on your life. And
Oh yeah,
she's a big reason you don't drink
and
anymore.
I'm a big reason she recovered for her.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember she suffered from an accident and she was recovering.
She
all
just
right.
took a step backwards. She went from a cane back to a walker.
Yeah.
And they're saying it's all because of nerves she hasn't used since February.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like that for a year. Nothing but nerve pain.
So she had a bad accident. They
ran over in front of her.
Is there a period after that happened that got you to the point where
Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have started me. People
Yeah.
ask me that.
I mean, that could lead to a little depression and not having your partner out of it.
Actually, what do you call that? What the lady say you got in Vietnam? Post-traumatic stress. My girlfriend has to be full of that to live that in her mind how that lady hit her.
Yeah.
I can see it in my mind vividly. It was horrific. I don't wish that on nobody.
And but now she's moved on to a cane and
She's going backwards.
Oh.
Because the cane hurts her.
Came back to a walker.
Get out of bed.
Do you think
Never talk to her about walking again. But because of the gym and the yoga and the meditation her whole life and how she ate, like the doctor would say, can you lift your leg up? And every day when we go to bed, she lifts her leg up right over her head.
Wow.
Every night. From here, up over her head. Every night before she goes to bed, like 10 times, that's what she does.
Wow.
Because she always wanted to.
Yeah.
That's saving her life. The doctor can't even comprehend she could do that.
Yeah, it's impressive. Because she probably dedicated herself more than a lot of people do after
a
serious accident.
It paid off. Even her friends who are anti-gym people saying, oh, where are you, Frank, going to the fucking gym?
Yeah. The fact that she was already a gym rat.
Yep, the gym rat is, making her.
If she wasn't taking care of herself before that, it would probably be a whole different story.
Who's going to be with your next interview? I think any fun.
Yeah.
You trying to hear their story.
Yeah.
That new girl that comes,
she's pretty insightful.
She hasn't, I always think of her name. I can't.
She's great.
She changed a lot. She opened up her story.
Yeah.
She told me, I find that fascinating, that she quit on her own with the higher power.
Yeah.
And she had no relapse. Zero. I asked her 3 times.
And she quit without. I'm always impressed that people can quit without hospital.
I asked her 3 times. I said, you told me, am I correct? She said, yep. You quit on your own. She said, with the higher power. And I said, you have never had no relapse. No.
That's incredible.
That's what I said.
I've heard people that need to go to jail in order to quit just because they're forced to. And then once they quit before the court system, they realize life's getting better.
You got to be forced to quit.
So everybody's different.
But if you really think about it, sometimes we go to this meeting and we get discussed with all the people just talking, but all of them are unique and got their stories, which is what you're looking for. You're going to do well on this.
So now that you're...
Excuse me, I'm at the Millionaire Club drinking with a bunch of people. I can't talk right now. Thank you very much.
What's one piece of advice you'd give to someone who's just starting their recovery journey?
Piece of advice to somebody recording would be honest with yourself. Don't think about yourself. Think about your friends and loved ones, how it affected them, and just be totally honest and saying, don't say you think you can quit. You got to believe you can quit. Whatever makes you quit, the higher power, whatever makes you quit. It'd be a group or a society or a friendship or friends. That's where you got to be.
Good advice.
That's where you got to be.
What is going to keep you motivated to stay on this path and avoid relapse in the future?
I think my health, mentally and physically, because of my age, and just realizing, and as you hear more and more about the disease and you surround yourself with people that have it, you realize you can do this.
What's next for you in life and recovery? Is there any big goals or dreams that you think you can accomplish now that you're...
I'd really like to go to recovery. I really want to experience that. I really do. I hear about this. It fascinates me. I can go for free in the military. It's just, I said, your story about it. So many people about it today. You don't want to say people's names. I can go on, and it's just, it'd be cool to learn about yourself.
So even though you are sober,
I think
today,
it would keep me sober.
Beneficial.
Oh yeah, there's no, and I think people that are sober need to keep doing stuff to keep sober.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's that powerful that we couldn't slip. People that did,
Yeah.
won't say their names all the time.
Yeah.
Just once a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're educated.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that these people are dummies.
No, I know.
It is a disease. It doesn't matter who you are, and you just got to work on it.
Yep.
And you've been a big part of my sobriety. Meeting you, to me, you're like one of my sons.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, as well. You're somebody I've always been inspired by.
I admire, and you're admired because they believe in you, and this is what you want, and they see that, and you are like, this is what they want.
Thank you.
They want people like you there.
Appreciate it. You inspire me as well. You're always big on quotes. Is there one quote you'd like to share to live by?
Everything is mental.
Everything is mental.
Yeah. I got that on my phone. I got thousands on my phone. Everything is mental. If you wake up and believe you're going to have a bad day, you're going to have a bad day. If you get up and you say, hey, I'm not going to drink and I'm going to concentrate on not drinking, you ain't going to drink.
Yeah.
Everything is mental. But drinking controls your health.
Yeah, it does. It
So
controls everything.
That's my warning sign and my motivation.
Yep.
Mentally, I like drinking. I can't lie.
Yep.
Physically and everything else, it doesn't work. The thing is, if you tell the truth, you win. You win. First of all, you win with yourself. And then when people know they accept you who you are, like the people we know, you win. That's a true statement.
I know. It's scary. It's scary.
Look at you. You said you fell down that time.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Woke up in the middle of the night. And that's how I always try to quit, is going on a run, because my running is my favorite thing to do, and fell down some stairs. That's
what I mean. You drink, you die.
Yeah, you drink.
That's just one. It's just one sentence, and I got it highlighted and circled 50 times. You drink, you die. End of story.
That's perfect way to end this interview. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate you joining in on the first episode. Honestly, it was a great conversation. We're definitely going to have you back on the show. Follow-up conversation.
I want to hear all the rest of them.
Because we're going to have some different topics.
I know these people. This is going to be good.
All right.
That guy's going to educate them. He's fantastic.
All right. Signing off. Thanks for watching Rock Bottom with Ryan.
Rock Bottom. Woo!
Rock Bottom with Ryan. No bullshit, just recovery.